Alright, and today we're going to start with our G major scale, and we'll play it at half notes with the metronome. We'll just go up the octave and down the octave. Let's not repeat the note at the top. And
2 octaves or just one?
Just one octave,
Okay.
and we're just going to think about creating a nice warm sound and blending well together. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Scale the same way. Let's stick with our D major scale. We'll go up the circle of fifths. And we'll do the same thing, but let's do 2 octaves.
Okay.
And we'll continue with the half notes, but I'll move this up a little bit. 1, 2, the C sharps up the top and the middle, that's fine. Let's do A major. And let's do the same thing, but let's play it in a round. So you can start and I'll follow you. And the purpose of this is to kind of create that resonant, warm sound that the harmony will create. Okay, so don't repeat the note at the top, and we'll just go up and down. 1 octave of the A major scale. What sharps are in the A major scale?
Do you want them in order?
Yeah.
C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp.
Yep. Exactly right. And we will keep the same tempo, I think. And you can start and I will follow.
Do you want me to hold the bottom note until you get down there, or just stop?
Yeah, why don't you do that? That'll be fun.
Okay.
To the flat side of the spectrum, and let's begin with our F major scale. Let's only do 1 octave, and this time we'll do the same round type exercise, but I will start.
Okay.
And I'm going to grow in dynamic, so I'm going to start pretty soft, and if you could follow me, the same kind of dynamic spectrum. We'll start soft, we'll grow up to the top, this beautiful kind of a forte-ish F, and then we'll decrescendo back down to the lower F.
Okay. When do I come in?
Count 4 beats. So when I'm on my A, because we're playing half notes. 1, 2, 3. And we'll move back down.
Okay.
Hey, great intonation at the end. Very good. So if we're going up the circle of fifths, what will the next scale be? It's the fifth scale degree of the F major scale.
C?
Yep. Let's play C 2 octave, and let's not play it in a round. We'll just play it for the sake of intonation and blending and trying to create one sound between the two of us. And let's start in the low C. 1, 2, 3. It was good. It was really good intonation. Great. So let's start, since we ended with C, with our daily exercise in C major, thanks to Closet. And let's just do it together. We'll just play it for the sake of continuing to kind of build our tone into this sort of unified sound. And we can just start at the beginning. What tempo would you like to use for this, if this is the quarter note? I know you have 112 written. Is that
a little slower than that? Would be nice.
Okay. Is that a little too fast, or is that comfortable?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So let's just begin at the top and breathe whenever you need to, and we'll try and read the whole thing down. My purpose will. My goal is to really create sound. If we need to just stop and take a break in the middle and keep going, that's fine. It's not so much of a woodshedding exercise as I'm really trying to develop this section sound, which is so important for the band. So let's just start at the beginning. And it's in 4/4. 1, 2. Yeah, they don't build breath marks into this at all. All right, let's start right here on this F, and we'll work our way back down to the bottom. That's pretty good, though. I think there's a lot of facility that's happening that hasn't happened before. I think our sound's pretty well blended for the most part. I mean, with the exception of notes like D, which are always sharp. Mm-hmm. I think, for the most part, this is sounding really good. Let's start here, and we'll go down to the bottom, and then we can move on. You know, when you can feel yourself starting to rush, and when I feel myself starting to rush, we really managed to pull it right back into time really quickly. So that was really good recovery. Okay, let's do a little bit of the B minor A2. And I want to work a little bit on time here. We were talking about tempo last time, maintaining a steady beat. And I think I said to focus on this middle section where there's the triplets. So I think maybe let's just, we'll put the metronome on pretty slow, and let's just play through this together. Again, the goal of this is to kind of create that unison sound, and then I'll let you play. Let's just start here. It's very fast. Does that feel about right? Yeah. Okay, let's start right here. And I'm not worried about dynamics right now. I'm listening simply for the maintenance of steady beat through all the triplets. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Again from the beginning. That's totally my fault. Ready? Yeah. Exercise and alternate F sharp. That's all that is. Good. I think that sounds really great. Can you just play it for me by yourself without the metronome, so I can hear if you've began to internalize that steady beat, which I think you have. I'm betting you have.
Okay. Sorry, I have a hard time with my C sharp.
That's okay. It's a hard note.
Sorry, I'm just struggling today.
No, that's fine. Just start here.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was about to ask.
I'm wondering if there's something wrong with your C sharp, so go ahead right there.
Sorry. Sorry, okay.
You're fine.
I'm refocusing now.
Yeah. Just take a second and just think of the tempo. 1, 2, ready.
Oh. Okay.
Can I just hear those 3 notes? Just this beat.
No.
Good. Again. Okay, and then this one. Alright. Can you start here? Play E, C sharp, A, G sharp. Okay. And can you tumble on back down to the E? Start right there. Good. I think usually when we have a little tricky thing that hitches us up, I like to dissect it and figure, okay, can I play this? Okay, that's fine. I can play this fine. Okay. So usually it's in between the figures, because when we practice, we'll often sit there and we'll go, okay, or however you need to do it. For example, here we'll just play and get that pattern on your fingers, but we often don't stitch things back together, or when we do, there's a hitch in the middle, which is why I had you start there. Because usually once we break that barrier, we can make it work. Let's try and play that together a few times. Just this triplet and the downbeat of the next.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Just the downbeat. Ready? Sorry, so we're just gonna loop it a few times. Ready? Good. And now let's add the next one. Dee da 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 da. Ready? And the whole thing. Good. Again. Good. And it's really important to have some place to land. So let's play those two and then the downbeat of the next one. Great. That's all it takes. It's really tedious to kind of go back through and work that out. Could you do me a favor and play a low C? So we're going to insert a C natural before the C sharp. It'll be, I mean, it's purely for exercise purposes. Okay. So, so I was hearing a lot of success in your low C, and I want to see if by starting on the C and moving to the C sharp, we can get that to speak. Before you do that, can you just play low C? And just switch it up to the C sharp. Good. It takes more air than you think. There's something about the C sharp that requires more air than we think it needs. So blow straight through that. Don't be afraid of the dynamic. It's that part of the horn that's going to be honky and loud no matter what we do. Good. Can you do like 4 or 5 more times just in succession? Is it significantly easier when I hold that down? Try that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm afraid you might have a leak down here. Can you play that again? I'm going to hold this down. Is that easier?
I think so, maybe.
I almost feel like I'm seeing a crack, and it might just be the light or the color of the saxophone, because I don't usually work with silver.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm afraid you might have a leak on your low C, which is a really common leak to develop.
Yeah, especially after all these things have been through.
Yeah, I mean, saxophones are notorious for developing leaks by themselves when they're just sitting in their case. I have actually key clamps on my alto saxophone. I don't know if you've seen those. I mean, I know it's something you would invest if you really cared about it.
Yeah.
And I only did because I live on a very bumpy road. It's a sort of tangent, but I live on a very bumpy road in Massachusetts. And when I was driving in the car with my saxophone, it would bump and bump and bump. And all the keys that are open will kind of jar and jolt, and they'll bounce around, and that's where you get leaks from, at least from my bumpy road. So there's key clamps that they shut everything down, and that way when you're jumping around, they don't move. I almost wish that the marching band would get those for all of their saxophones, because it would save them a lot of time and everybody a lot of frustration. So I would ask them, I would tell them when you turn this in that there's probably a leak at the bottom.
Okay.
So that's just making that very difficult to play. But you can overcome a slight leak like that by making the air, you have to use twice as much air, which is not easy, but you do have to sometimes overcome the slight leak by putting the extra air through. And the extra air through will kind of circumvent the leak. It'll just make it, it'll still speak. It's not good, but it's a good way of doing it. Good. I'm hearing a lot of good things. I would like to start back again at the beginning and just blow through this. If it doesn't speak, it's not your fault. Just keep moving. And I'm going to listen for the following. I'm going to play, and I'd like you to try and imitate. So I'm trying to be very subtle, but I'm trying to grow up through the triplet. I'm kind of using the triplet as like a bouncing board, and I'm bouncing all the way up to the next note. That's within each measure. I'm kind of trying to reach from here to there, right?
Okay.
So, because that's kind of the peak of the phrase. They're 2-measure phrases. So let's start here, and I'd like to hear you try and grow from here to there. But use those triplets as kind of a sounding board for you to bounce on up. Bounce isn't really the right word. Glide would be probably the better word. So start right there, and I'd like to try and, if the low C sharp doesn't speak, that's fine. Just keep going through it all the way up to the E, all the way up to the F. I don't hear you articulating the fronts of things very clearly. Can you exaggerate that for me? Where are you tonguing with your tongue?
I'll never put my mouth. I know that's wrong.
Okay. So are you touching the tip of the reed?
No.
At all?
No,
Okay.
I know that's wrong.
Okay. Alright, we gotta fix that. Okay. So the general rule is tip of the tongue to the tip of the reed, which is really kind of a hard thing to think about. Just try this. Teeth on the top of the mouthpiece. Bottom lip rolled over your bottom teeth. And then it'll feel weird to have to pull your tongue back. And just put your tongue on the reed and then take it off the reed. Like so. So we're going to start this sound by... It's hard to describe. I actually articulate in the totally wrong way, so I'm relearning how to articulate myself. Begin your embouchure and put your tongue on the reed. Okay, we'll start the note by releasing the reed from the tongue. Can you try that? It's weird. It'll feel really strange. So tongue on the reed and kind of close the reed, and then begin the air and release the tongue at the same time.
That does feel weird.
It does feel weird. Mm-hmm. Here, just take off your mouthpiece. Forget about the rest of the saxophone. We don't need to worry about that. It's going to make some horrible, horrible sounds. But can you hear at the beginning? There's like a... Mm-hmm. I'm actually like my air pressure is built up to a certain point, and then I'm releasing the air pressure by releasing my tongue off the reed so that the air can go through. Okay, you can hear that air leaking. Can you try that? Good, that's it. Yep,
Yeah.
do it. That's it, that's it.
It's
More
hard.
air, try more air. Yep, that's it. I can feel your air, like you're trying not to put too much air through, because you're trying not to make too much of a sound. Put the air through. I mean, it's going to sound obnoxious like me, but I like to think of it as a continuous stream of air. Think of a garden hose without the spigot at the top. It's just a straight garden hose. You got the water on. Your tongue is like, if you're holding, the water's going, you're taking your hand just going like this through the stream. So the stream is continuous, but your tongue just puts a slight break in it. Try that. The air keeps going, regardless of what your tongue is doing. That's right.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah, keep putting the air through. Yeah.
Takes some practice.
Yeah, it's going to take some practice. I would definitely start trying to articulate that. It's going to make your life a lot easier, especially those low notes. I really, when I'm playing like low C and low C sharp and low D, and you're pretty good at hiding your articulation. I wouldn't have known until I asked. But I start all of those with a nice big tongue slap. You can kind of hear it. I don't even know how your tongue is at the top of your mouth. I can't even do that. I'm bad in that I tongue a little bit too far back on my tongue because that's more comfortable for me. I need to fix that. But at this point, I want you to, when you're practicing and when you're in band, try and think of starting your notes with the tongue, because it will make your life easier, and it makes the beginnings of the notes more distinct. There's a distinct beginning of the note. Can you try that for me? And I know you may not be able to do it, but try and tongue with your tongue. Articulate with your tongue.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. That's it. It's
That's
in there.
hard.
Yeah, lots more air. I'm hearing a difference already. I hear a difference because I'm hearing the beginnings of the notes much more distinctly before. Before, I couldn't even tell if you were making any break in the sound. It sounded all slurred. And it sounds pretty, but it's not on the page. So definitely, we might have to discuss that more at another time. And that it's definitely something that's worth spending the time to fix. When I first started saxophone, I double lipped.
Woof woof.
All the time, which created a loose embouchure, but didn't really allow for very distinct articulation either, because you're not when you're doing that, there's not a lot of stability. So if you actually see me, you can see this bouncing. That's the kind of pressure that my tongue is creating. There's that much rebound. We're just about out of time, but we uncovered a good thing just there. All right. Well, thank you very much, and
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Take care.